In today's video, we're gonna be talking about the latest episode of ReZero and just trying to form some theories about what could just be happening. The latest episode was just crazy. We thought that we had, a bit of a mystery with who pushed Subaru, but then it just kind of exploded into so many more things. And this latest episode, there was just so much. So we're gonna be trying to break it down, kind of theorize what's gonna happen, and just kind of talk about everything that I picked up in the episode now that I watched it a couple of times now, including somebody possibly knowing about Return by Death, which really caught me off guard, and there was so much stuff happening that I don't think I even reacted to it in the actual reaction video. And just like with pretty much every other video that I post, I am anime only, so I really appreciate if you guys do not spoil anything in the comments. I'm just theorizing here with my anime only knowledge, so I do not want any sort of information from the light novel. I want to be surprised in the actual anime. So thank you for keeping, everything spoiler free. And now let's get into it. Another very first mystery that we want to tackle is basically these flashes that we got throughout the episode. We got two moments where these happen. Whenever Subaru just kind of like loses consciousness and he just kind of like pops out without remembering what he did. And I am not quite sure what is causing this because it just seems to just kind of happen. So I'm guessing there's something in the background kind of causing this. But I do know that as soon as this happens, it seems like he just goes like on a rampage. We saw this at the very beginning of the episode whenever he falls into the cave. The very first ones with the bear Mabby stings. The very first image, you see a bunch of them. Possibly when Subaru just kind of fell into the cave, he probably fell into in a place where there's a lot of them, just kind of like hanging out, I guess. But you can see a bunch of them. In the second image, you can see them getting a little closer, or Subaru getting closer to them. And then in the third image, I completely go out here and say it. I'm not really quite sure what we're looking at. I think we're looking at a close-up of one of the heads, possibly. But after Subaru comes back, after this images just kind of flash on screen, we essentially see the aftermath that he somehow killed all this Malbeast. And at first, I didn't quite catch it the first time around. It just looked like he just fell into a place where there was a bunch of dead ones, like something else had killed him. But watching it back, it's clear that he's the one that actually killed them. How did he actually kill these? I have no idea. And how does he not remember he actually did this? I also don't know. I don't know what actually is causing this, but I knew this is happening. And then the second time around that this happens is with Meili at the very end of the episode when they have that conversation and she says something that I guess just kind of triggers whatever is happening to Subaru. Then we get three more flashes of the static images, a mouth, an eye crying, and then an open mouth, which is clearly just Meili being choked out by Subaru. So whenever this happens, he kind of loses control and just goes on like a murdering rampage, it seems like. But still, we have like no idea what is happening. This is probably something that's gonna be revealed later on. We probably just don't have like the necessary information to really put this together. Besides that, it's actually happening. But if you guys were wondering what these images kind of look like during the episode, it's essentially what Subaru is doing in a very cool way. It's definitely a very cool way of representing it, for sure, with these. And I just thought this whole like sequence was very cool. And now actually being able to like go frame by frame of the episode and actually seeing what this image is, because during the first watch of the episode I just didn't know what I was looking at. It is very, very cool. Even, if we don't know exactly why it's happening. Also, Subaru teleporting back to the tower is something that we also don't know how it happened. I have no idea who could have done that, but maybe it's the same reason why this is happening, like that he's kind of like going insane. But I have no idea who has like the power to actually like teleport him from the cave back to the tower. That was just kind of like out of nowhere, so hopefully we'll find out how that happened also in the future, because there's so many unanswered questions right now. But that's what makes it fun. Now let's actually go to the main thing that I want to talk about, and that is the scene right before Subaru dies with our Rem just kind of showing up behind Subaru. Although I don't really truly believe that it's Rem. It is most likely one of the gluttonies because of the way that they speak, and also because they seem to have knowledge about return by death. I think it's very deliberate what they tell Subaru here about him figuring that out next time, and then adding a bit of taunting on top of it by calling him hero like Rem would. Now, this I don't really think is Rem like waking up and actually going and killing Subaru, but it might be actually Rui, the last gluttony that we saw in the last season, season 3. She does seem to have a way to kind of appear as another person. I'm guessing because if it's a person they consume their memories of, maybe she can like take their form or take their appearance. And it looks like something like that might be happening here. And that's why she's able to show up in this scene as Rem. Because this Subaru wouldn't know of Rem. So it wouldn't really make sense for him to be thinking that Rem is behind him as just some sort of like mental illusion. So I'm guessing that Rem was actually there, but not, Rem, I guess, if you guys kind of see what I'm trying to say here. There was Gluttony Rem that was there and actually killed him. And this is just gonna add a little more evidence towards the theory that gluttony is the reason that Subaru lost his memories. And it just makes sense that now they have some sort of knowledge or that they're just aware about return by death now. Especially because just that one sentence just kind of points at return by death. And that's very interesting because if they do know about return by death, you would think that they would try to like maybe keep Subaru alive so he wouldn't loop and reset everything. But here they just straight up just kill him. They just decapitate him immediately, basically just resetting the loop. And it's just interesting where this whole thing is gonna go and what the gluttony's plan actually is in the tower. I feel like maybe we just don't have enough information yet to really know about everything that's happening. But even then, it is still fun to speculate and talk about maybe some of these things that maybe a couple of you guys miss during the anime. And if you guys have any theories yourself, make sure you guys leave them in the comments below. This is, anime only discussion. So, make sure they guys keep it spoiler free. If you guys do read the novels, I do not want to know what's happening next. Just, keep that comment to yourself. But thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. And see you guys next time. Peace.